We are joined by Brigadier Nadir Mir, defense analyst, who is going to share his views on the commemoration of Mar-e-Haq and the exemplary defeat India faced from Pakistan. First and foremost, Brigadier Mir, thank you so much for speaking to Pakistan TV. Now, just diving right in, let's talk about the significance of Mar-e-Haq when it comes to Pakistan's defense posture.
Mar-e-Haq is a milestone in Pakistan's national security and history. And it is a day of rejoicing. The Pakistani nation, led by its armed forces, 1 year ago, that is in May 2025, last year, was able to not only defeat the adventurism of India, but also tarnish India's global image and cut down India to size, to its real size, and equated with Pakistan. That is the real significance of this day. Before this, as you recall, and the whole world knows, the Indian polity, the Indian leadership, they were telling the world that there is a global India, there is a rising India, there is a shining India, Akhand Bharat, and all those stories that you've been hearing. But after this, you don't hear that. Neither do the Indians say that as much, although they're still obsessed and delusional, and none of the world takes them seriously. And this is from the European, Western, and other capitals and the other parts of the world that they are saying. They're saying this. Since last year, that is 1 year after Mar-e-Haq, what has happened is that the whole image of India has gone down and that of Pakistan has come up. Pakistan has risen as a geopolitical power rather as a star. And for that, it was the first hour in which Pakistan Air Force was supreme in shooting down Indian planes. That was the start of this. And it changed the total equation. You know, it was not only that Pakistan could defend itself against a larger, bigger adversary, a stronger belligerent, but it was able to defeat it and humiliate it in the most epic air battle at extremely long BVR ranges. That's another milestone, or that's another historical event. So this all changed, and since then, Pakistan has never looked back. You see, in the one last year, what has happened? Pakistan has gone on to the diplomatic offensive, becoming proactive, and the latest is that Pakistan is acting as a mediator, and it is acting as a peacemaker between United States on one side and Iran on the other side. And despite all the hiccups, and despite all the severity of this regional war with global effects, that is the Iran-US war, Pakistan has made a lot of headway. It has been applauded and appreciated by about 4 or 5 dozen countries in the world who want peace in the Gulf, because the Gulf affects everybody, as you know. The whole world gets affected, the oil, the prices, and all the rest. So, having said that, the entire equation stands changed. But we must not forget, I always say this and I'm repeating it, India is still looking for revenge. It is revanchist. It wants to get even. It is still obsessed with this old design of oversized geopolitical agenda, which is of defeating or destroying Pakistan or whatever. So Pakistan must remain ready. Pakistan armed forces leading, and the Pakistan nation united under one flag, the soldiers of Pakistan and the people of Pakistan together to defend Pakistan. Pakistan Zindabad.
Absolutely. Brigadier Mir, Pakistan has repeatedly highlighted during Mar-e-Haq the importance of national unity during this crisis. Can you help shed some light on how critical it is that the civil-military cohesion, in modern conflicts is to strategic success?
You have asked a brilliant question, and I keep repeating this always, that despite the success of armed forces, despite the success of technology, despite the advancements in strategy and, tactics and all that, which is very essential for war winning, the single most important factor is a united country like Pakistan is, and the civil military or entire nation, that is. You see, we have to understand that when it comes to national security in modern war, as you asked, and when it comes to national security, there is no such thing as only the armed forces. Modern wars are not simply won or waged by single army or the navy or the air force or anyone else for that matter. It is the entire nation, with the armed forces obviously acting as a vanguard, the spearhead to defend the country or to achieve the war aims, but the entire nation involved with it. It involves your economy, it involves your foreign policy, it involves geopolitics, it involves 100 other things. And a reflection of that is Pakistan, which last year in 4 days, starting with Mar-e-Haq, was able to defeat India. And you see the spirit it has created in Pakistan. This spirit which prevails today was not there since 1965. So it's almost half a century, over a half a century, that a new spirit has been rekindled. And that is to defend Pakistan, and it is to work together, not only to defend Pakistan, but to make sure that Pakistan rises economically and other respects. And of course, Pakistan remains peaceful. I must say this at the end of this, that we must not get carried away that while we are war ready to defeat any aggressor, but our aim is peace. We don't want to attack anyone, or we don't have any aggressive designs, or we have no such claims as you know. Pakistan is a peaceful country. The Pakistani population is resilient, peaceful, but very brave.
Absolutely. Brigadier Mir, I also want to touch upon the element of, understanding the intelligence coordination that goes with the air power, the technological preparedness when it came to Marka-e-Haq.
Once again, this is one thing which people understand. It has not been, I believe, in public domain, not as highlighted as it should be. We have to understand that when on 7th May 2025, Pakistan Air Force was able to shoot down the Indian planes, the point is that the Pakistan Air Force was ready. Had the Indians achieved surprise, which they always want to do, the aggressor or the attacker always wants to achieve surprise because that is its advantage, that it has the initiative. It is attacking any attacker. So Pakistan had this prior intelligence, what you're talking about. So that means our intelligence resources and our intelligence portrait that was built up, an intelligence picture, all that was quite complete in knowing where, how the Indian threat is emanating. It could have come from the sea, like the Indians are saying now that the next time in Sindhu 2 or 3, they will bring the Indian Navy. Or it could have come from the land, or it could have come from some other way. It came from the Indian Air Force. So the fact that we were able to do it would not have been possible, frankly, this is my view, unless we had this prior information and intelligence that the Indian Air Force, for example, the Indian Air Force on their airfields, their preparations, all that. It takes time, all these things. While the air battle may last for a short time, let's say 1 hour or 2 hours, the whole, but the preparations which go into it. So all that was very, very well known to our side, and that was because we had an excellent intelligence system informing the Pakistani decision makers what to do at the right time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for providing us with your expertise and your insights. It's always a pleasure to be able to learn from you. Viewers, this was Brigadier Nadir Mir, Defense.